Hey everyone, just when you thought I'd disappeared, I'm back to shatter your peace with a new video. Now I've had a lot of stuff going on this year, so I haven't been active on YouTube since August, but one thing I have kept a keen eye on is the recent resurgence of RaceRoom. This is the title that got me hooked on sim racing back in 2021, and it is very close to my heart, so I knew I wanted to come back and make another video as soon as I got the chance. Well, today's the day. It's a 15-minute sprint around the Brands Hatch Indy circuit in the Mazda MX-5 Cup. I'm starting from P4. Can I grab a podium? Well, it is going to be one heck of a fight. Here we go then, the lights are green and we are underway at Brands Hatch. 15 fast and frantic minutes around the Indy circuit. And it wasn't the best getaway for Spencer Rader in front of me. So Rader starting from P2 was really sluggish off the line. I moved myself out into the middle of the track there just to try and lean on Rader a bit through Paddock Hill Bend, but he is just about holding on to P3 for now. It's actually pushed me out a little bit wider than I would have liked through Druid's Hairpin, and that has allowed Pilotto and Mascherado to move up the inside. So Mascherado now up into P4. That drops me down to P5. I did just back out going into Graham Hill Bend there. It's really tricky to take that turn too wide. However, Mascherado did leave me loads of racing room. Probably at his own expense. It did look like he might have picked up an off track there, exiting that corner, but for now, Mascherado up into P4, I'm down into P5, but I got a much better run through clearways there. Can I pick up a bit of toe coming down the start-finish straight as we end this first lap? Will I be able to make a challenge up the inside of Mascherado? Well, I've got the run on him here. Can I hold the inside line into Paddock Hill Bend? And it looks like I might have got this pass done. Meanwhile, up ahead, Pedro Puentes has lost control coming down the hill. Puentes starting P3 on the grid alongside me on that second row. He worked his way up into second position by virtue of Spencer Rader's slow getaway. But he has just thrown it all away going down Paddock Hill there. So that's me up into P3. Not only did I pass Mascherado, I also gained a bonus freebie thanks to Puentes' mistake. And here's another look at it. I suspect he's just going to ride that curb on the inside a little bit too much. That's exactly what happened. He fought valiantly to save it there, but he was never going to keep it facing in the right direction. Right, back to the live action then. We're just starting lap 3 and I am up into third position, so I've got myself a podium place here, but it is very early days, still more than 12 minutes left on the clock. And I find myself sandwiched in between two bright yellow Mazdas at the moment, and Mascherado 0.8 of a second behind him fourth. Meanwhile ahead, Spencer Rader 0.3 of a second. I'm closing in on Rader now. Can I make a challenge for this P2? Creeping ever closer through Surtees. Now if I can stay right behind Rader through clearways here, I could make another move down the start-finish straight, although I might not have to wait that long because Rader missed his apex there. It's allowed me to tuck up the inside. Now have I got the pace coming down this straight? We're side by side as we begin lap 4. Now a lap ago I was able to make the pass on Mascherado from a little bit further back than this, so surely I'm odds-on favourite now to take P2 into Paddock Hill Bend, and that's exactly what I've done. And I've got a good clean run up the hill too, so I'm going to get to this apex ahead of Rader, make second position my own, and now hopefully make a break for it. But yeah, that opportunity for the overtake came a little bit sooner than I was expecting. My plan was to tuck in behind Rader and then use the drag going down the back straight, but he was really wide exiting the corner then, and I got the pass done ahead of time. Right, back to the live action. We're approaching 1/3 race distance. And I've just switched the TV cam on, riding on board with Mascherado in P4 because I'm hoping he may slow Rader down. He's beginning to challenge his twin yellow Mazda, although he was a little bit loose coming out of clearways there. That has given Rader a little bit of breathing room. What's the gap as we cross the line? I'm in P2, Rader 0.5 of a second behind in third, and then Mascherado 0.9 of a second behind in fourth. So the three of us still separated by less than a second here. Meanwhile in front, Daniel Ortiz-Fernandez is making a break for it. He's 2.5 seconds down the road. Oh, look in the rearview mirror, we've lost Spencer Rader. Rader just took a little bit too much of the curb on the inside of Druid's Hairpin, and Rader has gone. So that will ease the pressure a bit in my rearview mirror. And yeah, we saw with Puentes earlier in the race how dangerous it is to ride the curbs with these Mazdas. Now Rader has suffered the same fate. Yeah, right there, just taking too much of the curb on the inside. The rear steps out and he throws away P3. Right, we're returning to the live action at half race distance, and I'm beginning to close in on the race leader, Daniel Ortiz Fernandez. He was 2.5 seconds clear when we lost Sereda a couple of laps ago. That gap is now down to 1.8 seconds, so I am closing in on him. The big question is, though, am I closing in enough? I don't think I am. To be honest, I think my challenge now isn't going to be for the race win. It's going to be holding on to this P2, particularly when I make big mistakes like that coming down Paddock Hill. And that will leave the door wide open for Enmascarado to challenge up the inside through Druid's hairpin. So Enmascarado moves up into second position. We're going to be too wide coming into Graham Hill Bend once again. Enmascarado leaves me loads of racing room. So really fair fighting from Enmascarado. His generosity may have cost him there though, because he was loose as he ran wide, and that has allowed me to snatch second position back. Oh, what a fight we find ourselves in here at Brands Hatch. I'm holding on to P2 by the skin of my teeth because Enmascarado is really making me work for it. And now I've got to make my mind up what to do in turn one. Do I go defensive on the inside, or do I stick to the racing line? I think I'm just far enough ahead to be able to stick to the racing line, but I may have misjudged that one because I've left a gaping hole up the inside and Enmascarado jumps into it. Oh, that was really frustrating. I thought I could get to the apex first. I thought I was far enough ahead, but clearly I got that one wrong. I've just given Enmascarado the opportunity to regain that second position. Well, this is fantastic battling. I am loving this race, and we've still got more than 7 minutes of it to go. I suspect there will be another twist in the tail yet. I'm closing right in on the rear of that yellow Mazda as we come into clearways. There's a gap up the inside. I did think about jumping into it, but I thought better of it, and I'm glad I did because I got my nose wiped there. Right, what can I do? Down the start and finish straight, I'm going to pick up a toe here. However, I suspect that Enmascarado is going to be wiser than I was a lap ago. I think he's going to go defensive here, so I'm going to try as wide an entry as I possibly can into turn one. I should be able to get on the gas a bit quicker than Enmascarado. That will allow me to challenge up the inside into Druid's hairpin. This is working exactly as I hoped. I'm going to get to the apex first. I'm going to get that second position back. There's a bit of contact though. I felt the rear start to come around there. That was a bit too close for comfort. It was a forceful move, but I'm pretty sure it was a fair one to regain that second position. Let's take another look at it. And as soon as I saw him go defensive, I knew I had to take as wide a line as possible to get that run down the hill. It worked perfectly. Well, watch for the contact. Right there is where Enmascarado just tapped my rear as we came together mid-corner, and I was really lucky not to spin the rear around there. Well, this battle is enthralling, isn't it? We're approaching 2/3 race distance now, and Enmascarado still breathing down my neck. He is not giving me any peace here. Now, this is a carbon copy of a couple of laps ago. I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I'm going to go defensive this time. However, I suspect that Enmascarado is going to try the exact same move that I pulled, and he has pulled it off to perfection. Look, we're side by side again, and now Enmascarado takes that P2 back. Well, he's done me with my own move there. Unbelievable stuff. We're back down into P3 and Enmascarado up into second position. Let's take a look at this. This battle is the gift that keeps on giving. Wonderful racing here at Brands Hatch. Right, back to the live action. We are now at 2/3 race distance, and I'm struggling to keep up with Enmascarado. He's opened up an advantage of 0.8 of a second, and I'm not doing myself any favours with mistakes like that. Just running a little bit wide again, so I'm in danger of losing touch with Enmascarado here. However, he was a little bit wide through Druid's hairpin there. It's clear that Enmascarado is pushing just as hard as I am. There's another mistake, a puff of dust as he approached Graham Hill Bend. He is all out of shape through that section. This is going to give me the opportunity to close right back in. You can tell how hard he's pushing. He's trying to use every inch of this racetrack, but he's running a bit wide again there, and again clips the grass. This time he's gone. I just managed to avoid him. I'm going to get a big bump from behind. Patrick Schultz had been slowly but surely reeling the pair of us in, but he is right on my tail now. He took full advantage of that mistake from Enmascarado. Well, I've got P2 back, but for how long? Because Schultz has got the run on me here. I'm going to have to defend once again coming into Paddock Hill Bend. Hopefully I can do do a better job of holding on to it this time. It looks like I am just far enough ahead, so I'm going to get over to the defensive line as quickly as I possibly can, close off the inside into Druid's hairpin, and yeah, hold on to this second position only just though. Look how close Schultz is in the rearview mirror. He's going to have a sniff up the inside through Graham Hill Bend. I'm just about clinging on to P2, but Schultz is making me sweat here. Well, I really want to go back and check out the replay to take another look at Enmascarado's mistake, but we can't take our eyes off this battle for the moment. Well, I think I might have just made a mistake of my own coming into clearways. I just clipped the dust on the inside, which made me brake a little bit later than I would have liked. That opened the door for Schultz to jump straight through, so I do find myself back down into P3. But yeah, here's the replay of Enmascarado just clipping the grass on the outside. The rear steps around. That's how well I did to avoid running into him. Just got through there. Now we're riding on board with Schultz, and you can see just how quickly he closes in. There's my escape route. Schultz follows me straight through, runs right into the back of me there and starts putting me under immediate pressure. And then one lap later I make a little mistake of my own, just on the brakes a bit too late. It opens up a gap on the inside. Schultz jumps through to take P2. Right, back to the live action, and we're approaching the business end of the race now. Just 3 minutes left on the clock. Well, what can I do about getting that P2 back from Patrick Schultz? Can I force my way past that white Mazda? Well, I'm certainly struggling through Paddock Hill Bend. That is not the first time I've drifted out a little bit too wide there. Look in the rearview mirror. All of a sudden, I've got Sereda for company as well. Sven Sereda is back in the hunt here. I've turned the TV cam on so we can keep an eye on things from Sereda's on board. But yeah, this is now a three-way battle for P2. All three of us separated by less than a second. In fact, it's less than half a second now as we come through into clearways. Oh, and watch Sereda. He's going to go for a gap up the inside. There wasn't really one there. He has to take to the grass. There was a bit of contact too. Oh, things are getting a bit physical with 2.5 minutes left on the clock here at Brands Hatch. Let's take another look at this one. Sereda taking a really wide entry into the corner to try and get that tight exit, and yeah, there was a gap there for him. I did leave an open invitation there. That was a bit sloppy from me. I need to be tighter through this section. We are beginning to spread out just a little bit now. Schultz has got a 1 second advantage over me. There is a back marker ahead. John Emery, however, he is going to pull to one side and let all three of us continue this battle. We're only going to have a couple of more laps to go here at Brands Hatch now, and the gap is 0.8 of a second to Schultz in second. There's a similar gap back to Sereda behind, 0.6 of a second to the driver in fourth place. Yeah, we've got just 2 laps to go now. I'm beginning to struggle, and once again another mistake through Paddock Hill Bend. Look at Sereda in the rearview mirror. He is going to swarm all over my rear end now. He is right on my tail. That 0.6 gap has gone. We don't need the TV cam on to see how close he is, but I'll switch it on anyway because we are going to follow this to the line now. Oh, I'm a little bit wide again, coming out of Graham Hill Bend. I am rattled here, and I have kissed goodbye to any hopes of P2. Schultz is 1.2 seconds ahead. All I can do now is try and hold on to this podium position. Can I keep hold of third place? Well, I've got 1 lap to go, and I have got the yellow Mazda of Sereda hounding me. Well, we're doing 52-second laps here at Brands Hatch Indy, but I suspect it is going to feel a lot longer than 52 seconds. This last lap is going to be intense. Strap yourselves in, because I'm having to defend through turn 1. Now, this hasn't worked in the past, so I'm going to have to get over to the defensive line as quickly as I possibly can. I've just about done it. Sven Sereda will carry it wide around the outside. Oh no, he won't. He's going to go for a gap on the inside as I exit the corner. We're going to be side by side coming down the hill into Graham Hill Bend. I'm just about holding on to P3 here. The yellow flags are out. I don't think that's anything to do with us. Sereda's got the run on me here. He's got extra pace, but if I can just hold the defensive line into these final right-handers, I think I may hold on to this third position. I've got to keep it tight. I can't leave any gap here this time. Sereda once again taking the wider entry to get on the gas quicker than I can. However, there wasn't a way through for him. I've managed to shield the third position. I'm going to cross the line and get the job done. I finish on the podium here at Brands Hatch, but boy, did I have to work hard for it. Oh yeah, that was pretty intense, wasn't it? I've really missed these races, but I don't think my voice has missed commentating on them. Here are the classified results then. A P3 and the final podium position for me there, and with an added bonus of a fastest lap in the race of 52.4. It's not very often at all I get a purple lap time in a race. Admittedly, I probably benefited from tow, being so close to the cars in front of me for the vast majority of this race. Well, it's been a long time coming, this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Thanks for waiting, thanks for your patience, and thanks for all your messages during my extended leave of absence. It really has been an honour to share another race with you once again. Thank you ever so much for watching, and enjoy your races this week, wherever they may be. Cheers for now.